I'm Nikki Catton. I'm the Vice President of Product Delivery at Penske Media Corporation.
And Nikki, what does Penske Media Corporation do?
Yeah, so Penske Media Corporation is a very large portfolio media brand. We have got a number of print magazines, a number of websites, and a number of live events as well.
You know, we've been working together for a few years, and I must admit, PMC is like my celebrity friend. Can you name drop some of the sites that ex-teamers have worked on?
Yeah, sure. So X-Team's actually worked on most of our portfolio, including RollingStone.com, Variety, Women's Wear Daily, The Hollywood Reporter, Billboards, IndieWire, Art in America, a lot of very big names. It's been very exciting.
And over the last few years, the engagements have changed from PMC. You used to have this model of seeking agencies to estimate the work and come to you to project management, but you've changed that and you've brought more the project management in-house, all that, and rather you seek the developers to help you scale. What's been the reason for the change?
Yeah, so I think over the years, as we have done a number of re-platforms and bringing the acquisitions onto our technology, we've refined and standardized a lot of things. So we've really focused on developing out our core technology so we can really identify what is the 80% of our sites that are standardized. So that is the technology, the code, but also the user journeys and, the page templates and things like that. And as we've kind of refined that, and as we've done a number of re-platforms and redesigns and brought things onto our technology, it's become more efficient for us to handle that in-house. It's become, I would never say a project is easy because there's no easy project in this world, but I would say it's become a little bit more rinse and repeat. We know what we need to do. We know how we need to get there.
Because scaling and growth and acquisitions, it's all very stressful because you're changing the shape and formation of your business. How do we reduce the impact on our business? It's actually a common issue that I've seen with a lot of enterprise publishers that we work with, is that they'll come to us and they're working with several different CMSs, all these different sites that they've acquired. They have to have different people supporting it. And what you're doing is you're actually creating more efficiencies by reducing the tech, reducing the code, so that you're able to drive that better. Is that been like by design for PMC?
Yeah, and that's kind of been our, that's been our plan from the start. We've been very fortunate in that sense. So although over the last few years, we've definitely been kind of fine tuning and refining our core technology, from the start, our ethos has been to bring all of our acquisitions, all of our sites onto WordPress. We were fortunate that we weren't in a position where we got 4 or 5 years down the road and realized that we had different technology, or that we had 4 or 5 different flavors of a CMS floating out there. We have done that kind of core, kind of re-platform onto WordPress right from the start. And really where we've kind of gained efficiency over the last few years has just been fine-tuning how we actually get there. And, instead of reinventing the wheel every time we bring someone onto WordPress, figuring out what we can do, the same every single time, and where we can actually really focus our resource on the things that make a site and a brand unique and make their audience, unique for that brand as well.
I've been at your offices in LA a few times, and very nice digs. But PMC's really been quite progressive and adopting this ability of supporting the remote work and being able to work with remote engineers. What advice do you have for companies that are really focused mainly on just working in office with all their people?
I think there's benefits to both. I will say that we do value FaceTime, even with always having had a remote team. We do get all of our team together once a year, and we hang out for a week. The team loves spending time together. We have some really productive sessions. But that being said, having the remote work culture means that we do have the flexibility to hire, people that would really, really fit into our team. And giving that flexibility to them, it means that we are getting top talent from, around the country and from around the world. And I would say as well, but by giving that flexibility, I think people really value that. And, they want to work with us. They want to work for us. They want to work with us. I think one of the concerns that, some companies have, especially if you're talking about global working, is, lack of time zone overlap. You think, well, by the time I wake up in the morning, especially, here on the west coast of the US, then, the people I'm working with will have signed off for the day. And I think when you give people flexibility to work where they want to work, or work a little bit how they want to work as well, and be able to spend some time with their families and things like that, you will get that flexibility back.
No, absolutely. And something that we realize is that as you provide that flexibility to people and give them that opportunity to, be available to go for a walk in the middle of the day and to see some sunshine, that 9 to 5, really, it's broken. And it doesn't need to stay. And we're actually getting better retention. People are happier in their jobs, that they're able to be with their kids when they come home from school. But then, yeah, I'll take a meeting at 8 p.m. at night because I've had that opportunity to do both. I think it's something that is a next level of where work is heading towards.
You know, if I think about myself, you know, my brain is not fully on 9 to 5 every single day, right? There will be the middle of the afternoon where I'm like, I can't focus right now, so I need to take a break and come back. And I will then come back, you know, sometimes I'll then work at 7 p.m. because suddenly I'll get a surge of productivity. And so I think the concept that your brain is on 9 to 5 and you are productive, you know, every single day 9 to 5, people are realizing that that obviously is not how humans work, and flexibility does give you better output.
What elements have you found to be of benefit, like working with ex-teamers? What do you see as the differentiator?
Yeah, sure. So X-Team, you know, every single person that we've had come join us from X-Team has been of very high quality. You know, years ago when we started engaging with X-Team, we were working on building out a very complex subscriptions tech stack. We had X-Team come in to help us build that. X-Team stayed on to help us maintain that, you know, after we kind of did some very big migrations. And, you know, that alongside other technologies as well. So X-Team have helped us out with WordPress. They've been helping us stabilize our Gutenberg implementation this year. You know, they've worked on microsites, they've worked on the front end work, and across every single, you know, kind of area that X-Team have worked with us on, the quality of the people that have come in have, you know, really, it's been very high. And I would add to that and say, you know, kind of back to your point earlier about, you know, the team members feeling like they're part of our team. You know, I do feel that there's a lot of cultural alignment as well. Everyone that comes and works with us, they bed in very well with our processes. They are very great to work with. They really feel like a part of the team, because at the end of the day, you know, projects can be very stressful.
Finally, blatant advertising. What has been the best part of working with X-Team?
You mean apart from working with you?
Well, I mean, that's obvious. All right, that's number one. Let's put that one to the side. What's number two?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, it really is the people. You know, every single you know, member that's come and worked with us, but also the relationship that we have with X-Team as a whole. You know, I don't ever feel like I'm getting a hard sell from X-Team when we come to you, you know, talking about potential engagement. It feels like a partnership. I feel like we have a very solid relationship where we can talk about what we need, whether you can help with that, you know, if you can help with that in a slightly different way to what we were originally thinking. It very much feels like a conversation to see if we can make something mutually work for both sides, versus, you know, feeling like I'm getting a hard sell or feeling like I'm being sold something that's not going to be the reality. So I think the partnership and the nature of our relationship is something that I really value. I've worked with many agencies over my career, and I will say that's not always the feeling I get. So, you know, having someone that I trust is going to, you know, help us achieve our goals and really, you know, provide input and solutions that will work for us, versus just trying to get in the door, is something that I think is really kind of makes X-Team stand out.
As I mentioned at the top, like, you really are my celebrity friend client with all the different brands. And if people look at the pmc.com site and look at the brands part over the years and see how that has expanded, it really is quite amazing. And you really nailed that. Really credit to the PMC team for all that you do there.
Thank you. We appreciate that. It's been a long ride. It's been tough at times, but, you know, I think we're doing really great stuff here, and we're very excited for the future as well.
Nikki, thank you very much for that work, and thank you for our chat today.
Yeah, thank you. I really enjoyed chatting to you.